I'm Jason Grabowski with B&I Contractors. I'm the Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer. On a Saturday morning, I received a call from our customer asking if we had resources available to assist them in building a hospital out of the Miami Beach Convention Center in a 14-day time frame.
I met with Jason Grabowski, our Vice President. He told me about this project at Miami Beach Convention Center, which we were going to convert this existing facility into a COVID-19 hospital. So very exciting. So we spent a little bit of time that day kind of getting our hands around what we thought we were going to be getting into. We drove out to Miami, got to the site about 9 p.m. and walked into a dark building and began to survey and figure out what the heck are we going to be doing.
The first Monday, I got a phone call around 7 o'clock at night. I had to be on a job site at 9 o'clock at night to walk the job and see logistics, and I was kind of surprised to go at that time to a job site.
So we walk in, in the main lobby, it's a big building, it's a convention center. And then we walked out into the exhibit areas that we were going to be turning into this hospital. And the size of the space was a little overwhelming. It's about 250,000 square feet of space at the convention center that we were going to turn into this hospital.
At this point, all we really knew is that we were going to take this convention center and make it into a hospital. So that's a tall order. And we started to get our hands around what the Army Corps engineers wanted out of this project. Probably our number one focus right in the beginning is we had to provide filtered exhaust from the isolation rooms, 50 isolation rooms that are going to serve COVID-19 patients that would be on respirators. And so we had to design an exhaust system that would remove all that air, get it out of the building, and we basically spent virtually all of Tuesday sketching out a system that would meet the requirements that the Army Corps engineers had given us. I can remember that night thinking, we're done. We got this figured out. It looks good. We show up first thing Wednesday morning, and the Army Corps says, oh no, we're changing everything. We got to redo everything. Circled back, came up with a new system that would provide exhaust for those 50 rooms. And we literally turned over hand sketches to our sheet metal department, and they began ordering material right then and there.
All that sheet metal had to be fabricated from our hand sketches. Our sheet metal shop in Fort Myers, they were working 24 hours a day, 3 shifts, to produce all of the sheet metal required for the isolation exhaust that we were installing for the isolation rooms.
A paradigm shift for me, if you will, on this project was the speed of how we had to design things. And if we had questions or we weren't quite sure, just assume both and get both parts. Another thing that was really exciting about the project, not only the speed, but watching how the B&I team could just respond to adversity. At one point in the project, we were getting updates. We were having files that were dated not by the day and not just by the hour. They were dated by the hour and the minute. That's how quickly things were changing. And we would have team huddles with the architect, the engineer, Robbins Morton, roughly probably about every 6 hours, and we were working 24 hours a day.
Coordinating with the general contractors superintendent every morning at 6 o'clock, looking ahead what was the task in that morning to the afternoon shift. Coordinating with them like 3 to 4 times a day, because basically every 2 hours they're changing the plans. They're changing ideas.
We had constant changes every day, hour by hour, day by day. Isolation rooms changing from locations to locations. Ductwork changing from being installed from top of joist to a scaffold until we had a final design. Guys installing over 30,000 pounds within a week. Seeing isolations coming together, shipping, receiving, company coming together, getting the materials from coast to coast.
And this was my first real exposure to our field guys and how quickly they could put systems together. Their ingenuity, I learned early on in my career that you pay attention to the field guys. They have a different way of doing things and they can get the job done. Just give them the tools to do their job. And our guys hung over 30,000 pounds of sheet metal in 10 days. And they did it through prefabrication and teamwork, and it was something to see, really.
11 days later, On that Sunday, the work was completed and the hospital was opened for COVID patients to take use of the facility and for doctors to show up and start working.
I was really encouraged by the amount of public support we were getting, that we were working on a COVID-19 facility. A lot of my friends that are not necessarily in the construction market, they just thought we were saving the world because we were working on this facility that was just critical at that time. And that I really appreciated.
Well, one of the meaningful things for me, at least, and for the guys that we spoke in the field, was we're gonna have this for our community, because nobody knew it. It could be your family member, it could be someone that you know that needed that, you know. And that was the more meaningful thing, that everybody, not just me, that everybody in the team was talking about. They're gonna have somewhere to go to get treatment.
I remember walking around at night, you know, when things were calmed down, and just seeing the progress through the day. And it was with the American flags hung in the hospital, that were hung, I think, on the second day that we were there. It was very moving. I remember thinking to myself, I hope this place never has to be used. I was honored to be part of it, but I hope that it never really needs to be utilized.
We're extremely proud of the dedication and teamwork displayed by all involved in this project, and we're very grateful that we could help fight this terrible disease.